Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome from Breitbart News. I got to honestly ask, you're going to see a couple of short video clips. Are people on MSNBC and the mainstream media this stupid? It boggles my mind. NBC's Johnson. GOP wants to imprison women and only allow blacks to play sports. I mean, first of all, they're going to go over a poll. And this is really fascinating as well. Let's listen. This is comical.
I don't love polls, but I do want to put this up because we covered one last week along these lines. Jason, 21% of Americans think threats to democracy is the top issue in this poll.
Now, their poll, an NBC News poll, the top voter issues, 21%, more than jobs and economy. Threats to democracy at 21%. But jobs and economy only 19%. This is what these pieces of are feeding to millions of people. People want to, they're like sheep. They see poll numbers like this and they say, well, if the number one thing people care about is threats to democracy, then that's what I care about too, because I want to be like everybody else. There's no individualism in groupthink. This is so much BS. I can't even begin to tell you. Cost of living is 5 points lower than threats to democracy. Jobs and economy are 2 points lower than threats to democracy. It's amazing to me. Border immigration is 11 points less than threats to democracy. It's incredible. Where the hell are these people being polled from? It's just amazing. Let's listen on.
An NBC News poll, it tops all the questions about the economy. I think, and I've said this before, women are deleting ovulation trackers. I don't think you can poll.
All right, so let's check out the next stupidity on this same segment. I didn't even know you could get this stupid in a 2-minute clip, but they managed to do it.
Earlier this year. And then you have another group of people who are essentially fascists, and they want an authoritarian government. We have to stop pretending that we're talking about friends and neighbors. You're talking about people who want to basically imprison women in their bodies.
And that is about dehumanizing people that disagree with you. We went down this road in Europe in 1930s. How'd that turn out?
And make them completely subjective to men. You're talking about people who don't think black people should have a right to do anything but play sports. You're talking about a group of people who on a regular basis attack everybody of a different religion. I am old enough to know, or old enough, been around long enough, I hate saying this kind of phrase, I never imagined that we would see the same kind of racism towards faith that we saw in the early 2000s against Muslims. But literally it's happening right now against Jewish people.
Well, I find it amazing also that a very famous school board meeting that Muslim communities in certain cities are rising up and going with school board meetings and standing there toe-to-toe with conservative parents saying what they're teaching their children is wrong and awful and just horrendous what they're teaching concerning LGBTQ things and sexuality at elementary school. They didn't have a problem with the Islamic people standing next to people that were from the South. At school board meetings that were mostly white, they had no issue with each other at all. It's you that is the moron. I mean, let's listen a little bit more.
Like the anti-Semitism is almost hitting the levels that we saw during the Gulf War. Right? That's what we're facing in America right now. And unless we talk about it that way, unless the polling...
All right, unless the polling reflects what I think to be true. It's amazing to me. Almost 99, my guess is 99% of the anti-Semitism on the internet is from leftists and progressives. I can't say what I want to say. Let's read on. Dismissing a poll on the issues likely voters. I doubt if it's likely voters are prioritizing in the midterm elections. Johnson said the problem is to see the polls talk about people fearing threat to democracy unless your polling is sophisticated. And he go on, and you heard most of it. It's amazing to me. You can read this whole thing if you want to. And then you have another group of people who are essentially fascists and they want an authoritarian government. Large, making federal government more authoritarian and larger and overreaching is authoritarian government, and that's what you stand for. Oh, God. You have to stop pretending that we're talking about friends and neighbors. That's the dehumanization part. Talking people want to basically imprison women in their bodies and make them completely subjected to men. There you go with the Handmaid's Tale nonsense. That's a lie. An absolute lie. We're talking about black people who think, you don't think black people should have the right to do anything but play sports. Where? Where? Except for maybe progressive colleges. They want to separate races. It's just amazing to me. Absolutely incredible. How do these people even begin to get on national TV? And here's the thing that is really dangerous. MSNBC, CNN, NBC, and the rest of the lamestream media is pounding with this message to millions and millions of people every single day. Every single day. And over time, it has a cumulative effect. And when you see some of these morons in interviews on YouTube and other media sites act the way they do, is because they've been bombarded with this over and over and over and over, and they actually believe this nonsense. Simply what all this is, I used to think that they were just grifters, and they said these things to get clicks and get a nice media salary. I'm sure he gets a nice piece of change for appearing as a pundit on TV shows like this. I'm sure he does pretty well. He can buy some more sports memorabilia. I see in the back there. The fact of the matter is, though, I used to believe that they were just grifters and they did it for money. Now I really think that these morons get paid a really good penny and they believe it both. It's funny how ironic he says he only wants black people to play sports, but yet in the background are all sports memorabilia. I find that fascinating. Folks, I don't know how we're going to stop these people from brainwashing millions. I really don't. Because I don't believe in them not having a voice under the First Amendment, but we're just going to have to use tactics that they use. We're just going to have to do it. Conservatives cannot stand their behinds anymore and stay silent. You have to confront every single person, every single time, everywhere it is. And that's just the reality of it. We have to use their tactics against them. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.